7. Dums. Dums stands for Deep Underground Military Bases. These are secret facilities built by the government or other organizations. Some of them are used for research, development, testing, storage, or defense. Others are rumored to be caught up in more sinister activities, like human trafficking, mind control, alien experiments, or even cannibalism. The existence of Dums is not officially confirmed by any group with authority, but there are many sources that claim to have evidence or information about them. Some of these sources are whistleblowers, researchers, conspiracy theorists, or eyewitnesses. They often give maps, coordinates, photos, videos, or documents to support their statements. Some of the most famous Dums are said to be found in well-known places like Area 51 in Nevada, Dulce Base in New Mexico, Pine Gap in Australia, Montauk Base in New York, or the infamous Denver International Airport in Colorado. These bases are allegedly all connected by a network of underground tunnels and trains that allow fast and secret transportation. But not everyone believes in Dums. Some people think that they're just big hoaxes, myths, or simply disinformation. They argue that there's no solid proof or explanation for their existence. They also point out the difficulties and immense costs of building and maintaining such massive underground structures. It would be nearly impossible to keep construction on that level secret. So what do you think? Are the Dums real or not? Do you want to know more about them? If you do, you can always try to find more information. Just be careful not to fall for misinformation. And remember, don't dig too deep. 6. The secret tunnels of the White House. Did you know that the White House has a secret network of tunnels underneath it? These tunnels are not just for hiding from threats or escaping danger. They are also used for transporting both people and goods, connecting to other buildings, and even special events. One of the oldest tunnels is the one that connects the White House to the Treasury Building, right next door. This tunnel was built back in 1941 during World War II to offer a safe route for President Franklin D. Roosevelt and his staff in the case of an emergency. The tunnel is about 761 feet long and has a steel door at each end. It also has a secret entrance on H Street, which looks like a normal sidewalk grate, nothing suspicious. Another tunnel is one that connects the White House to the Capitol, where Congress meets. This tunnel's existence was a rumor for a long time, but it was never confirmed until 2015, when a former Secret Service agent revealed it in a book. The tunnel is used for emergency situations, like evacuating the president or transporting important documents. The tunnel is also equipped with a subway system that can carry passengers at fast speeds. The most famous tunnel is the one that leads to the Presidential Emergency Operations Center, PEOC, a bunker under the east wing of the White House. This tunnel was built during World War II also, and it's designed to be a command center during times of crisis. It has televisions, phones, and communications facilities, as well as a conference room and a small living area. It is where Vice President Dick Cheney and his staff stayed during the 9/11 attacks. It's also where President Trump was taken during protests in 2020. These are just some of the tunnels beneath the White House. There are many more that are still classified. Some say that there are tunnels that connect to the Blair House, Camp David, and even the Pentagon. Who knows what secrets they may hold? Maybe one day we will find out. 5. The Moscow Metro 2. If you're a fan of secret underground tunnels, you'll love the Moscow Metro 2. This is a mysterious metro system that is believed to exist under the streets of Moscow, parallel to the public metro. It was supposedly built by Stalin, who wanted a private and secure way to move around the city. It was also a backup plan in case of a nuclear war. The system was codenamed D6 by the KGB, the Soviet secret police. The Moscow Metro 2 supposedly has 4 lines that are 124 to 656 feet deep. It is said to connect the Kremlin, the seat of power, with other government and military buildings, like the FSB headquarters, the Vnukovo 2 airport, and an underground city at Remenki. It's also said to have bunkers and shelters that could hold up in the event of a nuclear attack. The Moscow Metro 2 is shrouded in mystery. No official confirmation or denial of its existence has been made by Russian authorities. Only a few people claim to have seen or even entered the system, like former KGB agents, urban explorers, and a few journalists. Some evidence of it has been found though, such as maps, documents, and photographs. The Moscow Metro 2 is a fascinating topic for anyone who loves history, conspiracy theories, and urban legends. It is also a potential tourist attraction if it ever becomes open to the public. You can imagine how exciting it would be to ride a secret subway that was once used by Stalin and his comrades. 4. The Kuchi Tunnels. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to live underground, to crawl through narrow tunnels, dodge booby traps, and fight for your life? If so, you might want to visit the Kuchi Tunnels, located in Vietnam, where you can experience a piece of history and also have some fun. The Kuchi Tunnels are a network of underground passages that were used by the Viet Cong, a communist group, during the Vietnam War. The tunnels stretched for over 124 miles, from the outskirts of Ho Chi Minh City all the way to the Cambodian border. They served as hiding places, supply routes, hospitals, and living quarters for thousands of fighters and civilians. The tunnels were dug out by hand, using simple tools and baskets to remove the soil. They were often only a meter wide and a meter high, with multiple levels and branches. They also had features like trapdoors, air vents, and water wells. The Viet Cong also set up many booby traps along the tunnels, such as spikes, grenades, and even snake pits. The tunnels were a major challenge for the American and South Vietnamese forces, who tried to get rid of them with bombs, chemicals, and ground attacks. They also trained special soldiers, called tunnel rats, to enter the tunnels and flush out the enemy. But the Viet Cong were able to resist and survive in the tunnels for years at a time. Today, the Kuchi Tunnels are a popular tourist attraction where you can learn about the history and culture of the Viet Cong and the war. You can also explore some of the tunnels yourself if you are brave. You can see how the people lived underground, how they cooked their food, how they made weapons, and how they fought back. You can even try shooting some of the guns they used at a nearby firing range. The Kuchi Tunnels are a unique and exciting way to experience Vietnam's history. They are not for the faint-hearted or claustrophobic, but they're still definitely worth a visit if you're looking for some fun. Would you explore the tunnels if given the chance? Let us know in the comments, and subscribe if you're enjoying the video so far. 3. FDR's bomb shelter. Imagine you were the President of the United States during World War II. You just learned that Japan has attacked Pearl Harbor and that your country is now involved in the war. You also know that your enemies have powerful bombs that could destroy your city and your home if given the opportunity. Where would you go to stay safe? If you're Franklin D. Roosevelt, you would hide underground. That's right, FDR had a secret bomb shelter built under the White House, where he could hide from enemy attacks while still running the country. But this was not just any bomb shelter, it was a 10-room apartment, complete with a command center, a living room, and a secret tunnel. The Treasury Building, which is close to the White House, has an old vault underneath it where the bomb shelter was built. The vault was converted into a cozy living space with carpet, wall drapes, food, and water supplies. The shelter also had a direct phone line to the Oval Office and a radio transmitter to communicate with military officials. The secret tunnel was created in 1941, shortly after the Pearl Harbor attack. It connected the White House basement to the Treasury moat, which was a dry ditch around the building back then. FDR used the bomb shelter and the tunnel several times during the war, especially when there were air raid warnings or threats of imminent sabotage. He also used them for other reasons, like hosting secret meetings or escaping from unwanted visitors. The shelter and the tunnel were both kept secret from the public and even from some of his staff members. The bomb shelter was only a temporary solution. In 1942, FDR ordered the construction of a more permanent and secure bunker under the east wing of the White House. This bunker was dubbed the Presidential Emergency Operations Center, PEOC, with 7-foot-thick walls to protect against 500-pound bombs. The PEOC was later used by other presidents during crises, like 9/11 and the 2020 protests. FDR's bomb shelter and tunnel are part of the hidden history of the White House. They show how the president adapted to the challenges of his time and prepared for worst-case scenarios. They also show how he still had a sense of humor and adventure, even in times of war. 2. Dulce Base, a conspiracy theory of a secret underground facility. Do you believe in aliens? If you do, you might have already heard of Dulce Base. a rumored underground facility that allegedly houses extraterrestrials and humans. According to some conspiracy theorists, Dulce Base is under Archuleta Mesa on the Colorado-New Mexico border near Dulce, New Mexico. The origin of this conspiracy theory can be traced back to Paul Benowitz, an Albuquerque businessman who claimed to have heard electronic communications from alien spacecraft and installations outside of Albuquerque during the late 1970s. He quickly became convinced that he had discovered a secret underground base near Dulce, inhabited by gray aliens and humans. He reported his findings to the Air Force and other agencies, but was instantly dismissed as delusional and paranoid. But his claims did catch the attention of the UFO community and were spread by various publications. Some of them claimed to have independent confirmations of the base's existence. Some of the supposed features of the Dulce base include a 7-story compound with levels for different purposes, such as genetic experiments, mind control, human-alien hybrids, and weapon development, a central hub with a nuclear-powered drill, a shuttle system that connects Dulce Base to other underground bases around the country, a security system with cameras, lasers, and biological weapons, a vast network of cages and labs where thousands of humans and animals are experimented on by aliens and rogue government agents, and a resistance movement of human workers who have rebelled against the aliens. There is no hard proof that Dulce Base exists or that any of these claims are true. Most of the sources are unreliable or fabricated. The official stance of the government and the military is that Dulce Base is a giant hoax. The residents of Dulce Base also deny any knowledge of or involvement in such a facility. Dulce Base is one of the most controversial and intriguing conspiracy theories in the UFO field. It appeals to those who are fascinated by the possibility of alien life and secret government projects. It also challenges those who are skeptical to find alternative explanations for the anomalies surrounding it. It is a story that captivates the imagination and provokes debate. It is also a story that may never be fully solved. 1. The Reverse Underground Railroad. You probably know about the Underground Railroad, the secret network of people who helped enslaved African Americans to freedom in the 19th century. But do you know about the Reverse Underground Railroad? The opposite network of people who kidnapped freed African Americans and sold them back into slavery in the South. The Reverse Underground Railroad happened for about 85 years, from 1780 to 1865, before and during the Civil War. It was a lucrative business for kidnappers who could make up to $15,000 in today's money for every victim. They used deception, violence, and coercion to capture their prey, often targeting children. They transported them across state lines using secret routes and secluded hiding places like caves, tunnels, or boats. They also destroyed or falsified any documents that could prove their victims' free status. The Reverse Underground Railroad was a nightmare for free Black communities in the North. They lived in constant fear of being abducted or losing their loved ones. They also faced legal obstacles and racial discrimination when trying to rescue their family members. Some of them formed vigilance committees to fight back against the kidnappers. Others even risked their own lives to infiltrate the slave states and search for their missing relatives. The Reverse Underground Railroad was a horrific crime against humanity that has been largely forgotten. It shows us how slavery was not only a Southern institution, but a national problem that affected millions. It also shows us how brave and resilient the freed individuals were in the face of such injustice and terror. That's everything we have for you. We hope you've learned something new today. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more. And don't forget to leave a comment down below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.